You know, having played over 125 hours of Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U and over 40 on the Switch remake, I think it's safe to assume that I have played this game more than the average person, and thus I feel qualified to tell you all about my best and worst levels. If you're looking for the Puzzy vibes, then you might want to check out the best level top 10 by tapping the card on the top right of the screen. But if you clicked on this video, then you're ready to hear about the levels that I really dislike. And with over 115 levels to play, some of these have to be kind of boring. It has to happen. Speaking of boring things, look at this graph. Ugh. Only 26% of people watching me have clicked the subscribe button. That number is too low. So can you help me out and click it right now? It takes a second for you, but helps me a lot. Alright, now let's get to the good stuff. Hey, I'm Nico, and here's my top 10 worst levels in Super Mario 3D World. If you've been watching my live streams for the past month, then you know I love speedrunning this game to death. I did a bunch of runs on the Wii U version, and now I'm trying to get good at the Switch version, which is actually harder said than done. Anyways, there's a couple levels that are truly nerve-wracking to me and that I kinda dislike having to play, and Cakewalk Flip is exactly that. The gimmick in this level is pretty simple. There are blue and red platforms, and they flip every time you jump. They're like the evolution of the spin platforms in Super Mario Galaxy, but since jumping is Mario's main ability, well, they flip all the time, and with enemies that actually force you to jump, well, navigating this level becomes extremely stressful. The final part doesn't have anything under you, so one bad move and goodbye, you're gone, and the speedrun is over. Oh, and don't get me started on trying to play this game with 4 other players. Good luck! One thing I really like about Super Mario 3D World is how you always are on the move. You run, you jump, you dive, you do some crazy cat dives and wall climbs, and then you stumble upon Chain Link Charge in World 3. And well, get ready to take your time. First off, this level is an auto-scrolling one, meaning that no matter how fast you are, you'll have to wait and take your time. Even worse, this level is full of fences that move up and down, so even if the level wasn't scrolling so slowly, well, you'd still have to wait and time your jumps to go in between the fences. Heck, this level is so slow that the difficulty comes from those donut platforms that fall down if you stand on them for too long. I don't want to stand on you, donut blocks, I just have to because it's too slow. Thankfully, this level is on a split path, so you can actually skip it during a casual playthrough, which is usually what I end up doing. Every single world in Super Mario 3D World typically concludes with a castle or a train level where you have to fight a scary boss. But there's one castle that is just pretty boring to me. The Lava Rock Lair in World 4 is a castle that seems to take place inside of a volcano, you know, as there's lava all over the place, and you'll have to carry around those boulder enemies to hit switches and discover hidden areas and green stars. And yes, if you're wondering, this level is also the home of the PP-shaped blocks that you probably saw online on a meme at some point. Haha, we get it, it's a PP. Real mature. Anyways, this level is really short and the end boss isn't really fun or difficult. It's just boring to fight, as you have to wait for it to throw lava boulders at you before you can even attack the guy. Well, in conclusion, I don't really like this level. The final world in Super Mario 3D World is super cool looking, with all of the flashy lights and the theme park in the background, but one thing that isn't cool is this train level over there. The Bowser Express is yet another train themed level, but this one is simply, well, boring and easy. For a level taking place in the final world, I was expecting a train going in between lava with volcanoes in the background while being chased by a chain chomp and doing barrel rolls on the way. What I did get instead was a simple train level where you have to wait for the camera to catch up as you move slowly, dodging the very few enemies on the way and collecting green stars. Sure, you do enter some of those train cabins to swim in water or whatnot, but there's like zero challenge to this stage. It feels like an afterthought or a level that wasn't actually supposed to be in World 8, but they ended up putting it there because, you know, they didn't have anywhere else to place it. I am typically not a fan of snow levels, and Typhoon Flurries will not help me become a fan anytime soon. Basically, this level is full of those big Typhoon enemies. These big cloud-shaped dudes cannot really hurt you, but they keep breathing and expelling gusts of winds at you, and while the air in itself doesn't hurt, well, you get pushed all over the place if you stand in the way. It's actually quite easy to get pushed and fall down like a dum-dum, so to avoid that, you'll need to stop and time your every moves, which is kinda boring to me. I mean, I love my Mario games full of action and enemies to defeat, so when I just have to basically stand there and play red light, green light, then I'm not having the time of my life. I remember Super Mario 3D Land to have a bunch of those short levels where you had a time limit to beat them, and they usually came in bundled with a Shadow Mario chasing you. These levels were super fun. Which is why it's such a shame that this next entry, Pretty Plaza Panic, didn't bring that mechanic back. Basically in this one, you enter this level and can actually see the ending flagpole from the get-go. In fact, you can pretty much see the entire level from the beginning. All you have to do is to start running on those platforms and cross the gaps to reach the end. And there's no challenge at all, there's no enemies running at you, no lava, no surprise, nothing. To me, this level just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't bring an interesting idea or mechanic to the table, it's literally just a filler level. It's almost as if Nintendo wanted to create a split path on the world map and ran out of cool levels to put there, so they just asked the intern to create a level in less than 3 hours. You know what, that's probably what happened for real though. The 7th world in this game is filled with lava and dangerous stuff, except if you enter this level and visit the Rammerhead Reef. This misplaced underwater stage contains everything that I dislike: annoying enemies, fast bloopers, and slow gameplay. Basically, this is a 2D stage disguised as a 3D stage, because as you can see, well, most of the level wants you to swim left and right while dodging those big Rammerhead enemies. They're just big sharks with spiky clubs as nose, but trust me, they do be annoying sometimes. You'll have to swim up and down to go through clear pipes, and you'll also need to dodge all of these bad boys to make your way to the end. This level is just plain annoying to me, and that's mostly the reason why I dislike it that much. It's boring. Remember that intern that made that very crappy level earlier in the video? Well, looks like they had a free afternoon as well and decided to make yet another short level where the end goal is visible from the get-go. Backstreet Bustle is even easier because the only thing that can kill you is that blue lava down there. But there are so many ways to avoid touching it that it's just laughable. The gimmick here is that you're meant to grab some double cherries to use those elevator platforms or whatever, but just grab a catsuit and you can easily grab all of the green stars and climb anywhere. Like, it's gonna take you less than 15 seconds, okay? I'm sorry, intern, I know you're doing your best, but these levels are just bad, my dude. They're bad. World 8 is also home to an underwater stage that I dislike and will tell you all about. Welcome to Deep Water Dungeon, a submerged castle featuring anti-gravity water bubbles. Basically, you'll have to climb up walls and swim in those floating puddles of water, aiming to make your way to the top to then reach Plessie. I do love Plessie, don't get me wrong, but I feel like her use here is pretty much meaningless. You hop on her, you move for like 10 seconds down this river where literally nothing can hurt you, and there you go, you're done. Bye, Plessie! I don't know, I just feel like this level is disconnected and doesn't make much sense, especially being in the final world that has bangers like this spiked fill level and this very scary lava level. Yeah, Deep Water Dungeon just sticks out like a sore thumb. After you beat the 8 worlds and defeat Meowser, a bunch of new secret levels will be unlocked, and amongst them lies the Rolling Ride Run, my least favorite level in this game. Basically, throughout the stage, you have to jump on rolling logs and move slowly to spin them and make them move on the railings. This sounds simple, and back in the Wii U era, it kinda was, but now that the Switch version has decided to turn every single character into Sonic the Hedgehog, well, this level doesn't really work anymore. While playing it, I kept falling down over and over again, and in order not to fall down and die like a dum-dum, I soon realized that running is out of the question, and even walking too. Instead, you'll have to move in a zigzag pattern to avoid moving too fast and falling down. This level is also a nightmare in multiplayer mode, as all 4 players have to be on the correct side of the log to make it move, and the chances of that happening without people falling down over and over again is almost impossible. Think of me next time you're playing this horrendous stage, you'll realize that it's bad. Thank you so much for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, well, as usual, subscribe, hit the bell, and smash like. And if you want to see my top 10 favorite levels in Super Mario 3D World, well, tap the cards on screen right now, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye!